using our white yarn, we're going to join to the first stitch of the previous row using a standing treble. And then we're going to work a treble into each of the next 6 stitches. So we should have 7 trebles in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we're going to work a front post double treble around the next front post treble from row 17. Miss a stitch and work a treble into each of the next 4 stitches. Work a front post double treble around the next unworked treble from row 17. So you can see it's made this V shape. Miss a stitch and work a treble into the next stitch. And work a front post double treble around the next front post treble from row 17. Miss a stitch and work a treble into each of the next 4 stitches. And work a front post double treble around the next unworked front post treble from row 17. Miss a stitch and work a treble into the next. Yarn over twice, work a front post double treble around the next unworked front post treble from row 17. Miss a stitch and work a treble into each of the next 4. And then work a front post double treble around the next unworked treble, front post treble from row 17. Miss a stitch and work a treble into each of the next 4. So that should bring us near the centre of our panel. And now we're going to work a front post double treble, not into the next front post treble of row 17, but the next one. So we're missing that next unworked one and working into this one. Miss a stitch and work a treble into the next stitch, which should be your centre stitch. And then working back on yourself, work a front post double treble around that front post treble that we missed from row 17. There we go, so that's made that little cross. So now we can miss a stitch again and work a treble into each of the next 4. Work a front post double treble around the next front post treble. Miss a stitch and work 4 treble over the next 4 stitches. And then work a front post double treble around the next unworked front post treble. So now you can see we're mirroring this side again now. The little cross is our centre, and then we're mirroring with these V's along this side. So miss a stitch and work a treble. And then work a front post double treble around the next front post treble from row 17. Miss a stitch and work a treble into each of the next 4. And then work a front post double treble around the next unworked front post treble. Miss a stitch and work a treble. Then work a front post double treble around the next front post treble. Miss a stitch and work a treble into each of the next 4. Front post double treble around the next front post treble. miss a stitch and work a treble into each of the next 7 stitches. That should take you up to the end. So let's just make sure we've ended with the right amount of stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's right, you need 7 each end. Can't fit them all on, but you should have your 7 trebles at each end, and then your 3 V shapes on either side here, and your cross in the middle with your 4 there, 4 there, 4 there, and 4 there. So if you count all your trebles up, including your front post double trebles and that little treble in the middle there, that should all add up to 65 stitches. So if it's all looking nice and aligned and you've got your 65 stitches, we can then turn and work a DC into each of them stitches till we get to the end. So that will be your 20th round. So then I can see you for the dark brown yarn, which is row 21. Okay, so I'll see you then. So for row 21, we're starting with a standing treble to the first stitch of the previous row using the dark chocolate yarn. And then we're going to work 11 trebles over the next 11 stitches. So we should have 12 trebles in total, including our standing treble. So now we're going to work a front post double treble into the front post double treble, the third front post double treble from row 19. So not this one, not the next one, but this one here, the third one. Then miss a stitch and work a treble into the next. And then we're working a front post double treble round this one that we missed, working back on ourselves here. Then miss a stitch and work 4 trebles. And then we're making the same effect here. So yarn over twice, miss the next front post double treble from row 19 and work into the next one. Skip a stitch and work a treble into the next. And then work a front post double treble round the front post double treble from row 19 that we've missed. Okay, so now we're going to miss a stitch and work 21 trebles. So we've got these 2 crosses here, and now we're going to work 21 across the middle. So when you've got your 21 treble across the middle, we're working a front post double treble around the third front post double treble from row 19. So we're missing this cross here, and then the third, 1, 2, 3, the third front post double treble after this cross. Okay. Then miss a stitch and work a treble into the next. And then front post double treble around this one that we've missed here. So working into that one. Okay, so miss a stitch and work into the next 4 treble. And then work a front post double treble, not around this one that's just below us, but the one next. miss a stitch and work a treble into the next stitch, and then work a front post double treble around that one that we've missed here. Then miss a stitch and work 12 trebles, which should take us to the end. So that's your 12 there. Okay, so you should have 12 trebles at the start, your 3 stitches here which make this cross, 4 in the middle and another 3 stitches, 21 across the middle, 3 stitches which make this cross and 4 trebles in the middle, and 3 stitches which make this cross, and then 12 on the end. That should all add up to 65. So now we can work a DC back along this row into each stitch, which will be your 22nd row, and then I'll see you for the 23rd row. So we're taking our silver yarn and starting with a standing treble to the first stitch of the previous row. And then we're going to work a treble into each of the next 10 stitches. So we should have 11 trebles including our standing treble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then we're going to miss a stitch and work a treble. Then we're going to chain 1 and work a treble into the same stitch to make that little V. Okay, so now we're going to miss 2 and do the same. Treble, chain 1, treble into same. So we're going to do that another 4 times now. So missing 2 stitches and working the V stitch. So we want 5 V's in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, we want 6 V's in total. So now we're going to miss 1 stitch and work a treble into each of the next 7. And then we're going to work these V's again. So it's missing 1 stitch and working your V. And then you're missing 2 stitches and working your V. Missing 2 again. Miss another 2. Miss your other 2 and work your last V. So you've got 6 V's in total. And then you can miss 1 stitch, and then you should have 11 stitches left. I'll tell you at the end. 1, 2, 10, and 11. There we go. So you need to have 11 trebles at each end, your 6 V's, and then your 7 trebles in the middle. And remembering on either side of your V's you're just missing one stitch. So there, and then in between you're missing 2. So if you add all them stitches up, including your chain 1, that should add up to 65. So if you chain 1 and turn and work into each stitch to the end, making sure you're working into that chain 1 space as well, because that counts as a stitch. So when you've worked back, that will be your 24th row. So then the next one we'll be working on is your 25th.